I have spared your wretched planet Cybertron, and now its residents shall witness its dismemberment. Rise, my podcast. Serve your new master well. All hail Unicron.
Alright, so shall we start?
No.
Let's do it. We need an episode title.
You can't fucking make me start.
Yeah, here's the episode title.
Oh, put something.
What were you gonna type?
I was gonna put "You can't make me fucking start." Justin, don't be a fat fuck. That works too.
Ready?
All right. I guess we can go.
Can I get a countdown?
Wait. Okay, I guess we can go.
Okay.
Wait. All right, let's go.
Give me a
3,
countdown.
2.
Good evening, dear listeners. This is
1.
your favorite Transformers podcast, All Hell Unicron. I'm
0.
your host for the night, Robert Detolf. This is our episode 67, entitled Don't Be a Fat Fuck. And I think we had a subtitle of You Can't Make Me Do It. Something like that. Guys, as I said, I'm Robert Detolf, and I'm joined with my two other lovely co-hosts. We have Justin T2RX6 Aloysius Gamgee.
Yes, hello.
And coming up right beside him, holding pinkies, is Richard the Pre-Order himself, the ultimate nerd.
Hello.
He'll get fucking... he will, like, auction off a slice of, like... Welker's ass cheek when he dies and get like the guy's widow to like fucking autograph it for him, and he'll have it like stretched out in a shadow box.
That's right. On display.
Okay. Yes, it's episode 67. We're starting early this time. It's 3 p.m. But we're gonna start. Get it started. Did anybody get anything? Justin, what did you get this week?
I'm looking around and I don't see anything, so I'm going to go with nothing.
Justin got nothing. Oh, and you know what? I got ahead of myself. The title of the show is Don't Be a Fat Fuck. Richard and I are both fat fucks. Justin is not a fat fuck. He insists he's not a fat fuck. Okay. But me and Richard both need to lose like 100 pounds each. So we're going to motivate each other, and we are going to do a little weight loss challenge. And every week, I think the rules, Rich, what? A weekly weigh-in?
Yeah, we'll do a weekly weigh-in.
But you should also do a measurement, I find. If you take a tape measure and you measure your waistline, it really helps. Because even on the weeks where you don't see much weight loss, you could still see quote-unquote gains in lost inches on the waist. It really does make a difference because sometimes you do retain a little water and you're plateauing. Sometimes you're gaining muscle mass, even though you're trimming down. I think it's a good thing to see that, Do you have a tape measure handy?
I do.
Not like a hardware store tape measure, like a tailor's tape.
Pretty sure I have one of those too.
Okay. So, when do you want to start when do you want to do our first weigh-in?
I'm ready whenever. We can do it this week.
You want to do it Saturday mornings? Saturday mornings? First of all, you should weigh yourself in the morning before you eat. After you shit, you go in the bathroom or something, wherever you want to go, you just take your clothes off and you weigh yourself naked. That's like the best, truest weight you're going to get, away. Is just naked or in your underwear if you want. Don't take a full body selfie. Just take a picture of the scale, And look, I'm glad that we're going to start now because what I tend to do is I'm so mortified at myself that I don't weigh myself because I don't want to know. And then I'll work out for like 3 weeks. And I'll start feeling great. And I'll notice a change. And then I'll weigh myself. And then I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, if I'm this much now, what did I weigh before? And I don't give myself the credit for, like, the 3 weeks of working out I got, It motivates you when you weigh yourself. And being afraid to weigh yourself at first is just hiding from the problem. So I would suggest maybe Saturday morning we each weigh ourselves and then post it in the chat, you know, and take that tape measure and measure our waistline, you know, around your belly button. You know, you'd be surprised at how much that shrinks in 1 week. 1 week. You know, I got a bunch of these things called, you ever hear Icon meals?
No.
It's like pre-prepared meals. They're very healthy. Sometimes it's hit and miss. So you got to experiment with what you like. They're not the cheapest, you know, but it takes the whole stress of cooking healthy off the table, and it's a great way to kickstart, like for like a month and a half. You know, you're just eating clean, you know, and they ship to you like, you know, you order as much as you want. It comes in a box of dry ice, and you stick them in your freezer, and you know, you microwave it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then you get used to. I mean, they're lower calorie, so it's not like weight loss stuff. It's not Weight Watchers stuff. It's like for fitness people, you know. So it's just like high protein, low salt. Like, you know, you have more vegetables and protein than you do carbs, but there's always carbs or something. But, you know, the first day or two, you're like, I want to eat something, you know, I want pizza, you know. But once you get through that, you realize, wow. Because like right before the pandemic hit, I was doing like kickboxing. I went down to like 300, and I was like for me, a healthy weight's probably like 275, you know, but I really got lower, and I was really seeing a tremendous change. And then I like tore a muscle in my back doing burpees at home, like when we were in quarantine, and it fucked me over for like 3 months. Like I almost had a heart attack from the pain at one point. But I was doing these meals like I did a weight loss challenge at the kickboxing school. It was a 6-week challenge, and they turned me on to those meals, you know, during the training, and really makes a difference. I dropped like 40 pounds or 35 pounds in like 6 weeks, and I was in really good shape. But eat right. I know what to do. I just don't do it. I'm a fat dumbass. You know,
I'm in the same boat, man.
You have to get at least 7 hours of sleep. You have to drink at least 100 ounces of water a day. You have to eat clean, and you have to exercise at least 3 days a week. At least, like that's the bare minimum. You know, should be 4, but it has to be at least 3 to 4 days a week of exercise, and you get a cheat meal. And the funny thing is, like at first you're looking forward to that cheat meal, and by the time you get to it, you don't enjoy it because it's that like addictive satisfaction element of it isn't there anymore. You know, because like you stop focusing on the food, you know, and then the food really becomes fuel. You know,
and the habit is broken too. The habit of eating like shit.
Yeah, if I hadn't tore that muscle in my back, man, I had said to myself before, like, never again. I'm never going back. And life, you know, said, yeah, how about this? And then I went back, you know, because I couldn't do anything. It ruined me for like a whole summer.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, so I would check out Icon meals if you want. Like they really, you know, it really saves the day. Like I basically ate, you know, for breakfast. I had a Korean beef bowl, and it was like Korean flavored like ground beef and like all these vegetables and like rice, and it was satisfying. And lunch I had corned beef brisket sliders with roasted potatoes, and it was fucking awesome. And then dinner I had another Korean beef bowl. But they have like breakfast burritos and high protein pancakes. Like they have stuff for breakfast, and you have snacks. You know, you're supposed to eat your 3 meals and have like a high protein snack midday, like, you know, mid-morning and midday. You know, because the real trick to me, like me, I don't know what your problem is. I'm sure it's similar to mine. It's appetite. You know, like I'm hungry, and like I'll wake up in the middle of the night, fucking no one's around. Like my inhibitions are gone, and I'll just go eat peanut butter in the middle of the night. You know. But
just dipping your whole hand in the jar.
No, just a spoon. I'm disgusting, you know. But you know, but like the appetite is really controlled by protein. If you eat enough protein throughout the day, it does inhibit your appetite. And the nutritionist I'd seen years ago had explained that it was just because it takes longer to digest or whatever. But then recently I was looking into that, like Manjaro and all that shit, those injections that people are taking. And they're just appetite inhibitors. That's the effect it has if you're looking for weight loss. They just inhibit your appetite. But there are other things that you could just nutritionally that do that. Protein's one of them. Fiber's another one. They release a hormone, two different hormones or enzymes or whatever it is, that inhibit your appetite. So if you eat enough lean protein throughout the day, you will not have appetite issues. That's my issue, is my appetite.
Yeah, but, for me, I'm gonna get back onto some intermittent fasting. Once I got into that groove, which was hard to get into, but once you get into it, for me,
yeah,
if you
eat
it's a
too
big
late,
change.
Yeah, but if you eat too late, like your blood sugar's fucked up at night, and that your blood sugar is supposed to go down when you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
But if you eat too late, it doesn't, and that's just praying for diabetes, and you're not burning stuff right. Yeah, I mean that sounds great, eating window. But anyway, so I think on Saturday morning we should weigh ourselves and measure, and do that every Saturday and be accountable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just try to get sleep. That's my other killer, man. I don't know about you, but I'm an insomniac. I can't go to sleep at night.
Yeah, I have a bad problem with sleep, and I also have a bad problem with stress eating. Like it's real bad. Like I'll get super stressed, which I have been lately quite a bit, and it's like I just eat comfort food. I know it's shit food, and I know it'll make me feel bad later, but I'm.
What do you eat?
Oh, whatever. It's like ice cream or fast food.
All right.
It's like, fuck it, stressed out. I just want something fast and easy. Don't want to think about it. Don't want to cook. Don't want to,
Because it makes you feel good in the short term. It's like nothing else feels good right now. Fuck it. Might as well.
Yeah, sadly. That's I mean, that's really the explanation, yeah.
But
it sucks. But
if you go a day eating right and then you make it 2 days, if you treat it like an addiction, like Narcotics Anonymous, they say like maybe tomorrow, but not today. Today I'm not gonna do it. And it's like you build one day at a time. And once you build enough days of eating healthy, you don't want to eat that bad shit anymore, because you start feeling good and it gives you energy to exercise. Because I mean, I've had bad food and then tried to work out and it's horrible. It's a horrible exercise. But
I foresee a knee surgery in my future too. My right knee, it's just like some days it's like, yeah, fuck you for going upstairs.
Well, there's ways around it though. Like you can get a bike, bicycling. You can avoid injuring your knee. That's great exercise. You don't have to run. Get good shoes.
I usually do the elliptical or I have a bike here. Like a stationary bike, an exercise bike, an Airdyne.
Does the elliptical bother your knee?
Not if I do it right. Like if I stay pretty true to, you can start getting sloppy in your form even on elliptical.
Yep.
So as long as I'm doing it right and not trying to kill my knee or trying to kill my legs on, leg day, it should be fine. And I think a lot of it's probably, inflammation, right? We talked about that a little bit in our chat.
Yeah.
You eat shit foods and that doesn't help.
No. And, stress. See, the thing, one of the reasons sleep is so important is because it's during sleep that cortisol is like broken up by your body. Stress causes cortisol to, produce, and the cortisol causes fat to accumulate around your abdomen. And so that's one of the reasons sleep is extremely important, but anyway, let's get to it. Sounds like you know what to do. I know what to do. Justin isn't going to do anything anyone tells him to do, but he's welcome to do it. So we're going to get started. All right. And we'll see where we go on this. All right. But anyway, speaking of which, Rich, what did you get?
So I got Fans Toys Viper, Fireflight, I believe. He's nice. I got this is an old toy, the Radio Shack Galactic Walker.
Oh wow. Shackwave?
No. I have Shackwave actually. A friend of mine hooked me up with a Shackwave. That's another fun long story. But
what's the Galactic Walker?
I'll send it in chat. It's terrible. It's It's a KO, basically, like you know how they would KO and tweak some stuff. It was like the Radio Shack KO of a Starrier figure.
Okay.
It's not great. It came up on my eBay feed somehow, and I was like, oh crap, I had that as a kid, and I just bought it for the nostalgia. That's not my picture I sent in chat, but it was boxed and everything, and I was like, you know, it's not that expensive. Why not? Kind of fun, just for.
Send it to Bobby to review.
Oh my God, he'd be so bad.
He reviewed your Metroplex.
What is this crap? He hasn't put it up yet, has he?
No. No, but I know he reviewed it. That's all you got?
And I also got I got another script. I bought an eBay seller put up Fire on the Mountain, and it's a revision prior to the one that was already up on the Marvel Sunbow archive.
Oh wow.
It's kind of cool. It's literally dated a week before the one that's up there. And the one that's up there, Ron Friedman went through and made a bunch of changes. And when he makes changes, he just takes a black marker and like blacks out the line. So you can't see on most of them what it used to be. So the two neat things about this script is, one, it's literally dated a week before. So it has all the dialogue unmarked by Ron Friedman. So you can kind of compare, you know, what the original writer did and what Ron updated. The other thing that's kind of interesting is the writer is Doug. What is his name? It's Douglas Booth. So Doug Booth wrote Fire in the Mountain, and when he wrote it, he just assumed that Skyfire was like a regular character. So he just wrote him into the script because he was one of the characters that was supposed to be in it.
Right.
What he didn't know was that the other episode right before, which is now escaping me, with Jetfire or Skyfire, at the very end, he crashes back into the ice. So they kind of, sort of, quote unquote, killed him off.
Right.
You know. So in this version of the script, it comes with a note on like Marvel Sunbow header, you know, letterhead that says, "Hey, we're changing the ending of this, or this episode ending is going to affect these pages in this script." And so the copy that's out there now has the new pages where it's like, oh, we got to go dig Skyfire out of the ice. Whereas the version that I just got, he's just there.
Just flying around.
He's just there, yeah, because he wasn't in the ice, because, you know, the writer didn't know that that's what they were going to do with him. So
see, that's more true to Transformers. They never should have tried to have any type of continuity between episodes. It should have been like Skyfire in the ice, right, at the end of the episode. Next episode, he's in outer space. There's like 4 of them. They all get exploded, right? And then the next episode, he's just walking around normally again.
Yeah.
Omega Supreme launches from Earth. It's just the rocket, his fucking arm. He lands on the moon. He's all there. And his base is there. You know, they should have done it all.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
No,
anyway,
the tank is back on Earth and the rocket's in space, but somehow when he transforms, he's all there.
He has he has no head. What if he just has like a long rope that he has to pull to bring his head from Earth? Did you get anything else, Rich?
Nope, that's it. What'd you get, Robert?
I'm glad you asked. I got in... What company is that? I got in that, the Legends Beast Wars Megatron.
Oh, yeah. It's like Robot Toys or something?
Something like that. And I just got in the Legends Beast Wars Optimus Primal. These are great figures. Really great transformations. I mean, they were never complicated, right? But even Megatron is fun. He's not difficult. But he looks great as a robot, and the pictures, he as a T-Rex, he looked goofy in the photos, but in real life, he looks better. I don't know if it's camera angles or whatnot, but he's big for a Legends, and rightly so. And, you know, Primal is a lot smaller than him. Like, they're scaled properly, but they're fucking heavy. They're built well. They don't feel fragile at all. You know, they're well articulated, well sculpted, fun transformations. They feel very new agey to me, just in terms of how they. Then again, they're almost, some parts feel a little Magic Square-y though. Some parts that are made to not break, they're not as hard, like the hard brittle plastic. you know, a little forgiving, but a lot of it's very heavy and firm. Really great figures. You know, I'm really excited for this company. They really knocked them out of the park.
Solid joints?
Solid joint. Oh, yeah. I thought you meant, are they solid joints? Yes, they're solid.
Yeah, no, I just mean, are they good quality joints? And
Primal's hips are not loose, but you feel like they could be, but then you realize they're not. So they're like teetering on the edge of, are these loose or not? You know, but they're on the side of the spectrum where they're not loose, but they could be. You know, that was a concern at first. They're certainly not ratcheted. You know, there's no ratchets in these little guys.
Yeah, I don't think you need that necessarily for a individual little Legends guy. Maybe on a combiner for some of the big joints, but
I mean, they're heavy. Like, you know, Megatron's cool. Like, his fucking legs, they're like mostly die cast. I mean, or there's just a lot of die cast in them because they have to be able to hold him up when he's a T-Rex, you know, because his head is much bigger than his tail. His tail's long, though, but still. And it's like they thought of that. They thought of, like, you know, being able to keep him upright properly and, you know, being able to pose him and stuff. And it's almost comical, his stupid little, you know, T-Rex arms. Like, they weren't trying to make a true T-Rex. They were making Megatron from the show. He becomes a little toothbrush, you know. I mean, and you know, Primal. I mean, he's got the forearm guns that come out. He's got the backpack, you know, guns that come out. He's got his original like mask, the battle mask. He's got like 2 faces to swap out with the 3rd face that it comes with. He's got his he has a mace instead of a ball and chain. He's got the swords. So just tons of accessories, you know, really cool stuff. I couldn't, you know, be happier, honestly.
Doesn't sound like a first-time company, though.
It doesn't. It really. I mean, if you.
But then that happens.
It's almost as if it weren't for a few parts that had magic squarey plastic, I would be sure this was New Age. I don't get it. A lot of it is really solid, but a few pieces that are made to like, hey, if you stress it the wrong way, it'll just pop off. You can pop it back on. Those pieces are like more magic squarey. So I don't know. I don't know who's doing this. At first blush, it was like, you know, it feels like New Age in hand, but when you transform it, it feels like Magic Square. If that kind of describes the experience.
Yeah. No, that totally makes sense.
You know, but everything holds together great. It's not like Magic. They're not built like Magic Square. They just have like some of the considerations that the plastic allows for with Magic Square, but they don't feel like Magic Square at all when you're messing with them. They feel like New Age. It's weird. They're painted. Anyway, okay, we'll move it on to third-party news. TianTi Design Movie Masterpiece Scale Sideways Prototype Reveal. Let's see what this is. Oh boy, Bayverse. Whoa! What the holy back flaps? New third-party company TianTi Design Studio have updated their Weibo account with images of the prototype of their upcoming masterpiece scale, Revenge of the Fallen Sideways. What's Sideways?
He's the one at Revenge of the Fallen that was just kind of in the beginning, that Sideswipe cut in half. So he's in it for...
I totally forgot about him.
a couple minutes and that's it.
I mean, as a robot, he is not very aerodynamic.
No.
I mean, he's just all drag with these wings up in the air. I mean, those solar panels?
It's pretty accurate, though.
It is pretty accurate, yeah.
That's wild. I mean, okay, that's a thing. I mean, compete with Unique Toys. That's what they're doing.
Yep, pretty much.
Don't do it. You're not going to be as good as Unique Toys. And Mastermade, you could argue, you know, but I mean, the alt mode we see here, is this just? I mean, is this an actual prototype?
Or this is very much 3D printed. I think this is very much a 3D printed prototype. If you look at the picture, what picture is this?
It looks like a thumbprint on the hood.
The third one. Well, what that is that's a buildup of the resin printing lines. Justin, I'm sure you can see that too. Like that circle on his hood. Yeah. So
I'm assuming they printed this just for alt mode. Like that won't transform.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he got it to transform, or they got it to transform.
How about that fourth photo? Justin, you like the gappy gaps? Does that make you happy?
You know I do. It says how I love my Transformers. So
look at that back wheel, though, how it angles out.
Yeah, a lot of that, though, I think is the problem of a 3D printed prototype, right? Like, as long as it's kind of held together with a wish and a prayer, which I'm sure this is, given how complex it looks like it is. I mean, it doesn't surprise me to see all the gaps. I would hope that the final product doesn't look like this, but I mean, I'd be really surprised if it did.
So much like Barricade.
Yeah, I mean, they're very, very similar.
I think the transformation that Hasbro did that also. They took the transformation of Barricade and kind of redid it for Sideways.
You think so? You think it's kind of like a fourth-party treatment of Barricade? Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I just think it's kind of like Cliffjumper and Bumblebee. You know, they're the same core transformer. They just have different bodies on them, really.
Yeah.
So I think this is a similar situation, which means, you know, this is smart for any company to do, really. You know, do something that you can relatively easily repurpose.
Exactly. I don't have any problems with it. I think it's fine. I mean, I'm not I'm not the target demographic for this because I'm not buying it, but
yes, you are.
I think it's fine.
Look at the fifth photo where he's holding it up, and you see all the parts on the desk, like that he tried to stick onto it that were like breaking or falling off. Like he's just like, fuck. I gotta print another door now. All right.
Yeah.
Justin's getting it. Rich is getting it. All right. Magic Squares late to the punch. Sludge. Rawr. All right.
Yeah. I mean, this looks good, but I think it's
late to the punch.
Yeah.
I mean, the big thing is if you're in on Magic Square, you need this, right? So,
true.
Yeah. And I think what it's trying to do is fine. So if you like that Magic Square plastic, which honestly, I look at this and I'm like, oh god, like this screams everything I hate about the Magic Square plastic. Like it just looks cheap to me, but it's like, but if you're in on this aesthetic because you've bought their other ones, then this goes right along with it. You know, like I don't think it looks real good to me. Like I really don't like the robot mode and stuff like that. It looks like Sludge, but it just looks cheap. You know, like I can't describe it. Something about the way the plastic looks, it just looks cheap.
It's because they don't paint their stuff really, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, but it's fine because like if you're in, you're in. So good job there, but you're not winning me over as a Magic Square fan. You know, like it's not gonna happen anytime soon. So
you know, here's the downside of New Age. There is a downside. First of all, Grimlocko, I hate his fucking arms. His little T-Rex arms. They're an abomination. But besides that, this is an overall downside of collecting New Age. Is you never know what's coming next. Like, so you'll see this. And then do I buy this? Or do I wait a few weeks and see the next version that's coming out of this? To see if I like it better. But did I jump the gun on my last Dinobot? So if I learned and then now I'm getting the better one, it's not going to match the first one I got.
Right.
So do I get all stupid looking ones or do I wait? But, you know, do I get all EX versions? Or it becomes very complicated when you're collecting New Age. That's at least here, they're like you're getting a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
And a Happy Meal toy. That's all we're giving you. It's a Happy Meal toy. Enjoy it. I mean, I guess I'm getting both lines. I got no room for it, but and he comes with the goofy Hanna-Barbera bulging eyes from the movie.
It's super important.
That's extremely important. That's the worst part of the movie.
I'm just looking. What did they do to the back of the dinosaur's head? You can see it in picture 11, I think.
That's for articulation, bucko.
Yeah, so we can look up in Dino mode.
God forbid they have a sliding panel, right?
Wait, I'm just like trying to look what New Age did. Like they didn't do that, right?
So, no, well they sort of did, but they filled it in.
Okay.
I happen to have Sludge on my desk here.
Yeah, Sludge is over on the other side of my desk. I can't grab him to take a look. I was trying to lean over to look, but I can't get him.
He has a little bit of the slot, but the piece that it swivels on actually kind of fills that up, so it's not as ugly as that.
Jesus Christ! Like the scene, the shot with Devastator pounding him. Like, I really just noticed how plain his fucking legs are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're definitely going for that cartoon look.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I think it's to their detriment, though. Like, it's not even like they're kind of doing it. Like, I don't know.
Well, here's what I think the difference is. So I have the New Age Sludge, and I have the cartoon accurate one. And his legs are just as plain. I mean, right down to the big dark circles. On the Magic Square, it looks like they're black. On the New Age, they're a darker gray. And the difference is the paint. It's just that. It's the finish. This is like Magic Squares is just a plain plastic, and New Age's is painted. It's painted gray. It's all gray. There's hardly any details on his dino legs, but it's finished.
Oh,
it's
boy.
painted instead of bare plastic.
Yeah.
No interest. This sucks. I gotta get it. Oh, God. It makes me hate myself. It makes me hate myself.
Why do you have to get it?
I don't know. It's
I
like
mean, at any point in time, you have the self-control to say, I don't need this, and decide not to get it. So
It's part of the weight loss challenge. Cut out like, all bad foods and all bad purchases.
All bad I'm going to go into withdrawal if that happens. I don't know. Okay, Bingo and Missing Link Grimlocko was his name. Oh God, Rich. All right, so now we've got, we've got a Missing Link Prime. I know that we've got the Missing Link Bumblebee and Cliff, and now third party is tackling Missing Link G1.
Yeah,
the first BingoToys of all companies.
The thing,
BingoToys.
The thing about this, okay, so like.
It doesn't even look that much like G1 Grimlock.
I think it's pretty close, but the thing about this is, as a third-party company, I wish you would do the things that Hasbro and Takara aren't likely to touch, right? And I think Bumblebee and Cliffjumper, they're easy for them to do. They probably have existing contracts in place for certain things, but like, I don't know if you're going to get the Datsuns and things like that. And I kind of wish you did this. Like, I feel like Grimlock is, like, low-hanging fruit. You know what I mean? Like, this is, like, Grimlock is probably one, like, all the Dinobots are one I could see Hasbro, Takara doing.
They got to get a license from Darwin.
Right, exactly. So that's kind of, like, my point is, like, yeah, I it's an unlicensed thing. I wish you would go after the things that they would need to license. So
it's just I thought the whole point of Missing Link was it looks almost exactly like the G1 toy, but it was highly articulated.
Yes.
This
I mean, highly is a relative term. I would not say it's highly articulated, but it is an articulated
by
G1.
By comparison, I would.
By comparison, yes, I would agree with you by comparison. But it's not like
the G1 toy, it's highly articulated.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
But this, they have already taken liberties with the sculpt. This is not just a G1 toy standing.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with this. I think when you look at this. And boy, look at Pick 2. Man, those are some wide childbirth and hips, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the problem with this. I think that this is a smart move for third party.
Agreed.
To jump in on the popularity of this Missing Link stuff. But yeah, that's exactly it, Robert. This is like. This almost feels more like a third-party chug Grimlock than it does Missing Link because
right. It doesn't look like an attempt to make a G1 Grimlock, a G1 toy. It just looks like a third party that took a shot at the Grimlock.
Yeah, and
exactly.
Honestly, some of the things that would help for me is like the chest is just painted gold. Like that shit needs to be vacuum metal gold and all that stuff too. Like if you are going G1 toy, like this thing needs to Like, you need to post a picture of this next to G1 Grimlock, and I should barely be able to tell the differences.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And that's what Takara is doing. Takara is taking the toys, and they're saying, okay, now let's give this toy articulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the head looks the same. The tail looks the same. Here, it's like the head looks off. The tail looks off. Everything looks just slightly off because it's not G1. And I think that's the biggest problem with this.
Where are we, man? People want... Okay, you have the MP10 MP aesthetic. It was an amalgamation of toy, toon, realism. People said, we want toon accurate. So they gave you just plain toon accuracy, and that's been on a slope going up or down depending on how you see it. It's the cat going up or down the stairs. But there's a slope, and we see an acceleration going on. I couldn't believe you have more toonish, but toonish is being toonified. Okay. Now you've got toy accurate, right? Well, we want toy accurate. They're like, we'll give you toy accurate. It's going to just look like the fucking toy, but it can move. Like,
well, so
nobody
the thing
just wants good looking fucking like
the thing about the what sells me on the missing link stuff is like, it's like, quote unquote, the ultimate G1. You know, like, it's the best version of this G1 toy it could be, because it's introduced some articulation that, like, they couldn't do, or someone couldn't figure out 40 years ago, you know?
Right.
So, like, that's the appeal to this to me, is like, oh, here's my Optimus Prime, but now I don't have fists to misplace, and, you know, he's got really nice chrome. Like, it's a acceptable update to my G1 Optimus Prime at this point, because he's a good-looking Optimus Prime without all the chrome wear and all that stuff, and the bonus of extra articulation, you know? So that's where it scratches the itch for me, is like making the best version of that G1, you know? But like, it's not like I'm like, oh, you know, like, missing link is the thing that I've been waiting my whole life for. Like, no, I still want, you know, to finish my masterpiece stuff, and then, you know, just stick with Legends, and, you know, some of these missing links, if they turn out right, like, God, I have no clue how they would missing link Megatron, first off, because of the gun stuff, but second, because he's just absolutely shit anyway. Like,
trigger dick.
Yeah.
I want Trigger Dick Megatron. Just give me Trigger Dick.
You know what we do. That's what we want. So.
Oh man, this is a fail. I'm sad to say they shouldn't have. I'm really disappointed that it's BingoToys. BingoToys is, up until this fucking thing, it was like up top tier for me. Just the Shockwave, the Wind Blade, the Black Arachnid, like top tier stuff. And this, like, I mean, and they get it for sculpt and paint and everything. You know, the transformation is what kind of suffers on their figures. But this, I don't know.
Well, this is exactly what they're good at doing, is relatively simplistic transformations, right? Like, that's G1. So,
I mean, I think this looks good. I agree with the color. It's like it doesn't know what it wants to be. Yeah. It's kind of plain. It kind of has some cartoon detailing, but it's gold paint and not yellow, so it's not cartoony, and it's not, you know, the vacuum sealed paint or chrome. So I don't know, between that and the fact that the mold is very much a G1 Grimlock inspired mold and not G1 Grimlock.
Yeah, like, they definitely needed to start from Grimlock and make slight tweaks versus whatever they're doing here.
Yeah. It almost gives the vibes of that War for Cybertron Grimlock. Was it the War for Cybertron, the one that Iron Factory did their first release to upgrade him to give him a stomach?
Yeah. That was Fall of Cybertron. Yeah.
Fall of Cybertron.
Fall of Cybertron Grimlock. Yeah, the Voyager scale.
It's just his chunky, weird tail, but here instead of a gecko tail, it's just like a fat ass, and his weird legs. This doesn't look G1. Okay, anyway.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if these do well. Like, if they continue on with Dinobots and the missing link line goes well. I will say one thing about G1 missing link and Takara. Supposedly, years ago, they said they lost or had long lost the Dinobot molds, which is why we never saw any of the reissues.
I have heard that too, and that is such a fucking bullshit excuse, because if if third party can get out there, or not third party, but knockoff companies can get out there and pick up like one off eBay and reconstruct it.
Yeah, they can do it. It's not that complicated.
Like fucking Hasbro could, right? Like,
yeah,
it's not even.
Yes.
It's not even like the stuff that they're doing is all that complex. Like, legitimately, if anyone could do it, Hasbro could do it. And it's just like, oh no, we lost that. Sorry, it's like, no, fuck you. You guys could have done this, and this could have been a non-issue, but you guys made some bullshit excuse.
I'll tell you something. I think BingoToys. If I was BingoToys, I wouldn't do this because it threatens a new line from Hashtag.
100%. And I feel like
diluting it immediately.
Exactly. And you're right now with Grimlock, you are 100% stepping on something that is within the wheelhouse for Takara to do. Like they may give you leeway if you were to go into the like season 3 stuff, or you were to go into just things that they're just gonna have a hard time licensing in 2024. Like if BingoToys wants to go and put out fucking Missing Link Megatron, because fuck you, I don't care about gun laws or whatever.
Yeah, but if they do it like this, where it isn't really true to the toy, they're immediately shitting on a new brand.
Yeah, exactly.
That Hashtag's trying to build. They're immediately putting a bad taste in people's mouths. They're fucking up their whole drive here.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a bad decision on their part to go this route, personally. But
plus Grimlock's one of the big 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As far as
he's like one of the ones you can almost guarantee you're gonna get. Like, you may not get any of the other Dinobots, but you'll get Grimlock. Yeah.
And he'll sell.
Well, what else is BingoToys doing? Jazz? Let's see this.
This is I don't know. This is odd. This almost looks more like Lockdown than it does Jazz. But
BingoToys Jazz. What?
Yeah. I mean,
what are they doing?
I don't know. It looks kind of cool as a stylized transforming car, but I don't get Jazz other than the head and speakers.
I could see taking this exact thing and putting a Lockdown head on it and calling it some kind of crazy.
This looks like Iron Factory. It looks like something Iron Factory would do. Like, this could pass for a Legends if you didn't have the teeny tiny joints.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool. I just don't get it.
He has a butt flap.
Well, only the best toys have butt flaps. We know this. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks interesting, but I'm good.
So this is supposed to be a Bumblebee movie Jazz.
Is that what it says?
I'm just thinking. That's what BingoToys has been doing, like Bumblebee movie style MP stuff. Not even MP. It's almost like 3-0 scaled stuff. Is this Rich? I mean, did you guys see Jazz? Was Jazz at all in those first few minutes of the Bumblebee movie?
I don't think so.
I don't think he was. Yeah. I think Wheeljack was, but I don't think Jazz was. If he was, he might have just been in robot mode.
Bumblebee movie Jazz. Let's see if Google. No.
There's also a good possibility that there's concept art out there too, that somebody drew up for the Bumblebee movie and it just never got used.
There isn't. It looks weird. Oh, I don't know, guys. You don't really see much. Here, I found something. Here it is. I'm sending it to the chat. There it is.
Oh, it's dead on. I remember that scene now.
You see that, Justin?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
No, here's... I don't know if this is...
This is some kids coloring, pencil drawing on a piece of lined notebook paper.
There's a lot of fan art, concept art.
Yeah,
weird.
I don't know that there's any official art that this is based on, but Who knows? Maybe you're right about it being it's supposed to be a Bumblebee movie jazz, and they're kind of doing the Iron Factory thing where they're like, yeah, he wasn't in that scene. We'll make something up.
I mean, look, one thing we don't get here is paint. And that's one place where, and you don't really see much in terms of articulation, but it looks like he's got butterfly shoulders. I mean, BingoToys does a pretty good job with articulation and paint. So it might look really good. I mean,
it's a cool looking robot, a cool looking car. I don't know that it's jazz to me, but
the wings are weird.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Justin, come on.
Yeah,
this is your bag. Tell us. What do you think?
No, I don't think it looks like jazz. Like I said, I think it would make a really cool looking lockdown. I don't think that it looks like jazz. I don't know the inspiration where this is supposed to be jazz from. I don't think anybody knows where it's supposed to be jazz from. He's a sports car. He's not this. This is like a boxy muscle car. So like, I've been trying to think like, who would this work for?
Mad Max.
What'd you say?
Mad Max, yeah, Lockdown.
Yeah, like Lockdown.
Exactly.
It doesn't have like Wind Charger or whatever's chest, so it wouldn't work for that. But like the alt mode is more Wind Charger, like Cybertronian vehicle Wind Charger or something.
Yeah, his chest almost looks like the one Omnibot chest. The white one. It's a downshift. Yeah, downshift. Yeah. You know how downshift has that like flat chest with the lights?
Yeah.
Damn it. This is obvious.
It's camshaft.
This is a Cybertronian vehicle, obviously, right? He's even got a rocket.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's trying to be some kind of Cybertronian-esque vehicle, or like it could, like someone said, it could be like IDW Comics type jazz. Right. Just because IDW kind of skirts the lines, but I feel like in IDW they've done a better job at being closer to the source material than this. So I don't know if I buy IDW quite so much, but
I'm buying this. Jazz is cool. Can't pass it up. Oh, damn me. All right, Dr. Wu, Tiny Megatron, and Cliffjumper.
Dr. Wu.
This little gun.
Second link has Cliffjumper.
That looks pretty. It's pretty tiny. It's pretty dumb. It's got no trigger. Okay, second link.
I mean, good job for doing such a tiny versions. I don't like the Cliffjumper at all.
I think the Cliffjumper looks goofy, and I think he's gonna have trouble standing with the wheels that he has on his feet. Like they definitely should have made them fold. So.
Piece of shit. Oh God, that hinge.
Yeah.
Why does he need that spoiler when he's got that hinge?
Yeah.
He's got a hinge spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
And I don't even think it really nails like the alt mode or anything like that. Like nothing about this looks particularly good to me. And like I know like you brought the Dr. Wu stuff to Bobby's a couple years ago, and like a lot of them were pretty cool, but like this doesn't look like it has that cool factor to me.
I haven't gotten any more since then.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it's weird.
Right. I don't
Megatron
like
looks alright. Cliffjumpers, no.
Megatron, I have questions about too. Like the gun mode looks like an incomplete gun mode because there's no like trigger or anything. Which maybe is fine. I don't know. He's got big ass screws on his back though, so I don't know. The gun mode doesn't look great, and then like the line drawing of Megatron looks strange to me. I noticed that on his non-fusion cannon side of his arm, he's got a ball joint in the arm by the looks of it, but the other side does not look like it has a ball joint.
It's just a hinge.
Yeah, and then he's got like the weird like hip skirts, which I guess are probably needed for the gun mode. I don't know. I'm not feeling confident about it really. So
I really hate seeing tumors on the inside of legs. I really hate seeing that. I hate that.
Yeah.
His right leg.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
Those are so you can plug a Lego in on him. I mean, for the little tiny scale, I think he's fine.
You would.
And then
I'm not gonna get him, but
his barrel. Is that really? Is that on his back? Because it doesn't look like that's his barrel in the line drawing. You know?
It looks too big.
I think that's if this thing parts forms, then it's beautiful. If he parts form a little fucking piece of shit.
He just comes with two figures: a little gun with hinges that don't do anything, and then a little robot. The ultimate parts forming.
You gotta pop the barrel off, and it's like asymmetrical. So without the barrel on, the gun looks even worse. Oh boy, no way. Justin's getting it. All right, moving along. Rising Force Stunticon Breakdown. First look. Rising Force. Oh my god, I triggered so many people. It was a month or 2 months ago or something. Like they showed the production in the factory. You know, they had like 10 Motormasters like in the trays in the factory. Was that a gong? Did you just hit a gong?
I hit the, this little microphone thing has the springs. I just happened to hit one just right.
I thought maybe you have a gong in your room.
Oh, man.
Bring me a burrito. We don't start this weight loss challenge until Saturday. Gong. I triggered so many people. I was like, look, Rising Force sucks so bad. They only got 10 pre-orders. And people are like, no, they're only showing you what it looks like in the factory. There's more than that. I mean, this doesn't look terrible, right? I mean, he's articulated.
I mean, look at that giant screw holding the wheel on.
Justin loves that. Like, they didn't even have a flathead.
I love it. It's like the step above the mushroom peg coming through the backside of the wheel for me.
Yeah. At least there's a screw.
Yeah.
They couldn't even have like inset heads on their screws. They're just fucking like rounded screws.
They couldn't. Like they could friggin' you could recess the hole that the screw goes into, so at least then it's like flush with the outside, but like whatever. No, we'll just do it this way because that makes the least amount of sense. Yeah, might as well be a C clip at this point. I'd almost rather them just not even fucking spin the wheels and just go ahead and glue them in place and make them look nice.
So wait a minute. So these wheels, when you push them forward, the screws turn counterclockwise and come out.
Yeah, it could. Yeah.
Rolls like a champ. Wheels fall off. Screws just sitting there.
Push him in reverse. He stops by himself once the screws all tighten up.
Well, this is breakdown, right? Is that breakdown? Yeah, breakdown. So perfect. The screws fall off. The Lamborghini slams into the ground, and that's the end of that, and it's all broken down.
Breakdown. Oh, his little voice box. Breakdown.
I'm just impressed they're actually finishing this out.
I hope.
The shoulders are very weird.
Wasn't Rising Force originally MP?
Yep.
Justin, don't you have one of them?
No.
No, you have that. What is that called? Wolf something? Lone Wolf?
Oh, yeah, the Lone Wolf one that they did.
The Motormaster.
The Motormaster that combines with Combiner War stuff. So.
You got to sometimes take the hint. If the name is Lone Wolf, they're only making one character.
The Lone Wolf thing didn't bother me because it legitimately was the centerpiece to a Combiner Wars set. And there is something about the Lone Wolf alt mode that I love because it's like G1 toy to a fault. And that was one of my favorite toys to play with constantly as a kid. So, I don't know. I don't have a problem with the Lone Wolf one, but I was not expecting amazing from it. So.
Okay. So, Sears and Lowe's are proud to throw their hat into the third-party game with their take on Legends scale Computron. This is interesting.
2 links, because they have pictures, detailed pictures of...
Craftsman toys.
Tactic Lord Combiner.
Oh, so this is a Legends. Okay.
Yeah, it's Legends, yeah.
This looks great for a Legends, honestly.
That right shoulder looks like it's sponsored by Disney.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Mickey Mouse fucking club on his arm.
Not anymore. Free domain, man. So.
Right?
Public domain at this point. Public domain shoulder.
It's the second link.
Second link is nose cone. He looks really good.
Yeah, I mean,
this legend scale.
This looks really nice and detailed. I like this. I think it's okay.
I kind of feel like, did they knock off Iron Factory? There's something
Factory
about these.
I do agree. I got the Iron Factory vibe from it as well. But unlike the whatchamacallit,
what's that Victory, whatever it is, what's that combiner? What's his name?
Leo Kaiser?
Yeah, the Leo Kaiser.
Yeah.
But that one, like, those things fit into the legs, so yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is a knockoff of it.
You're right, they're showing it's his whole leg.
Yeah, I think that it just
the whole lower leg.
Just by virtue of what it is, looks similar, you know? So.
It doesn't look Computron-y enough to me. I know that's nitpicky.
I don't know. I think it looks good.
You don't think so? I think he does.
Computron, I don't know. His chest doesn't look.
The chest is probably the one thing that I would say could use a little extra tweaking to be right. Like, it doesn't look quite right. But I mean, ultimately, I think it's good enough. Like, the light speed on the leg looks good. All the arm and leg bots look good. Like, I don't know. I think it looks fine.
What was that Dragon Ball Z character from Super with the big nipples? What was his name? He was really weak, and everybody thought he was super powerful.
Manaka, is that what his name was?
Manaka!
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like Manaka is standing terrified in the center of this guy's chest?
Yes, I could see it.
I don't know him, so I can't see it.
Hold
Manaka?
on. Something. I think that's what it is.
It's like Manaka. And then Beerus brought Manaka and made Goku think he was like the most powerful warrior in the universe. And he has like giant sensitive nipples. This character. He's like super weak. Is it Banaka or Manaka?
Manaka. Yeah, and they I don't know how you say it, but it's spelled like Manaka.
Now I gotta see a picture of this guy.
Yeah, I've got it coming out here.
All right.
Dragon Ball Manaka.
I will say that it looks like his whole crotch parts forms. Like his thighs, his waist, which is fine.
I don't like Nose Cone's knee. Is that how the knee was?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
If I'm honest with you, with the parts forming, that type of stuff doesn't bother me because, like, I do like the leader to be a little bit bigger than the limb bots, but, like, I don't like when it's, like, ridiculously scaled comparatively to the limb bots. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as it pains me to say it because they haven't released it, like the Fans Toys Motor Master, I think he scales nicely with the core limb bots that he has. But, like, you look at, like, Hasbro's Devastator, and, like, that fucking long haul is so bad looking because he does form the legs of the combiner. You know, it's like, yeah, like, I don't like that. And, like, I feel like if you did make something actually make this whole thing, it would be out of proportion with all the other bots, you know, like, entirely.
It's just like, I'm just seeing a whole story in my head play out where, like, Beerus is like, you are going to be part of the most powerful combiner. It's like, you'll be the chest, the source of all power and protection for Computron. And Manaka's just like, like stuck to the center of his chest.
Yeah. So the story about this, Rich, is Goku is he likes to fight everything and everybody and the most powerful people. And so Beerus, to get Goku to fight better, insists that he's number 2 on the team. And this Manaka guy is better than him, and he's just so good that he doesn't even need to fight. So he'll go last, and it just makes Goku fight more because he thinks, like, well, if he's still above me, I've got room to go, you know? And, like, this guy's just, like, absolute nothing. He just stands there. So.
But then they make Manaka fight in the tournament.
Yeah, and then, like, so the one time when he goes to actually, like, Goku's like, we're gonna fight him, then it ends up being Beerus in, like, a costume of him to actually make it look like he's good or something. So, I don't know. It's pretty funny.
I love that. Oh, my God, I love that. Okay. Megatron. I don't know. I just, it's in the chest. I pictured Computron as having a very, just barrel chest, and but with a lot of, circuitry and details and stuff, but it's, I don't know what it is, but it shouldn't look like this, like little pieces, glued to Menaka.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like the first line of defense. I'm sorry, I can't unsee it. I would customize that to have somebody paint that guy to be Menaka. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, now I have to buy it to do that. Okay. All right, okay. It wouldn't be third-party news without a new secret repaint from MakeJets. Speaking of which, what was there? Was it Dirge? What was the last serious Conehead they did? What was his name? Endgame, right? Another one where you take a hint from the name.
No, they did all three of them.
Wasn't that the last one?
No, they did them. They finished. Oh. But weirdly, they went ahead and they redid the hands. So Thrust and Ramjet have different hands than the other four that have come out, and I'm like, it's kind of pisses me off, and it's weird.
They should have just slapped on KFC hands.
It's kind of like, I mean, you could see it in this thing that there are these like weird articulated hands. I'm like, why did you do that? Like, why didn't you just include the option for us to put these on and just give us the hands that we've had for fucking 8 years while we waited for you to finish? Like.
Do you get the fillers?
Yes. Yeah, they're already built. I think they were already built in on these ones.
These things look so dated already. I'm sorry.
I still don't mind them. They're fine for me, but like this one does not look good, and like I don't know who's still buying these. Like I'm happy to complete the set, and I don't think I'm gonna be replacing my Seekers or Coneheads anytime soon. But I don't know. It's weird.
The set? You're gonna complete the MakeToys set?
No.
Colorverse?
No.
So this is Sky Guy. Oh my god. I mean, and obviously they come in their own display case. What I love about this display case is it looks like it's just clamshell plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, look at the robot mode. The only paint apps are on the wings. And I guess inside the cockpit, or is that just like gold plastic or something underneath the clear?
That's paint, no?
There's nothing on the arms, nothing on the null rays, nothing on the chest.
I love how the which photo is this? Let me see, one, two. I think it's the second photo where he's in the first photo of him in his display case. Just right over his pelvis, it just says "Re." Re. I mean, do you realize if you collect them all, like they're just going to be like leaning up against the plastic walls?
Yeah. I have one version of this mold, and that's too many. I don't like it.
Dated as fuck.
I don't like the knees. The knees are crap.
They look like crap. You collect this, Justin. I want you to finish this set, okay? Please.
No fucking way.
Please.
Not happening.
Okay.
Wonder if this guy will go up on sale, or not for sale, but just for sale, not on sale, but for sale on Show Z for $60 while he's $160 on TF Source, like all the other repaints.
I want someone to immediately knock them all off as they come out. Knock them off. Like that would be fucking hilarious, and sell them for like $12.50.
Oh my god!
Knock the whole thing off. All right, official news: Hasbro flips off its fans with Transformer one power flip off Optimus. What the hell is this?
It's terrible.
It's a video we can watch. Is it a video?
No, you can scroll down.
So what is the flipping? What's the flipping?
I guess you just flip his legs and I don't know.
Just break your teeth? Like flip them into your own teeth? No, it doesn't show him transforming by flipping. It just shows, hey, grab him by the arms and spin him. Whee!
His joints are already loose, so this is fine.
What about that alt mode? Hold on a second. There's one image of the alt. Oh, you get the same product image. That alt mode is divine, though. It certainly doesn't just look like Optimus Prime with no head, with his arms sticking out, his feet sticking up. That's Gorgeous.
Yeah. It's yeah. This Transformers 1 is really shaping up to be.
So they're going with, Orion Pax, Optimus, and then like Optimal Optimus.
I guess that's part of his transformation. I don't know.
That's when he gets the Matrix Optimus. Sword, axe, shield, and sword. Where does axe go? It's now part of his chest plate. I don't know. All right.
I don't know. There's an amazing Optimus coming up. It's even better than this.
Hold on 1 second before we do that. Okay. More Transformers 1 reveals, including the best Optimus Prime we've ever seen. He even comes with mouth and faceplate options. You're going to love both of his paint apps. What are we going to look at, Rich?
Oh, it's so great. It's the second. The first one is Bumblebee, and then the second figure they show down there. Amazing.
Really?
Amazing.
That's beautiful. He can walk. Oh, wow. That's like a... What? Why does he have Energon fists? Did he, amputate his... Was it like a Harry Potter? He had to cut his own hands off to bring Voldemort back, and then Voldemort made him fists again? Oh, whoa!
I wasn't even looking at that one.
Did you look at the alt mode? Look at this, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the alt mode.
Mm-hmm.
You can never complain about an alt mode's wheels again.
I know.
This is a truck.
Yeah.
This is a travesty.
This is a truck on what are those things?
Rollerblade wheels.
Yep.
He couldn't even afford a full set of rollerblade wheels.
he's like, 2024 semi tires are too expensive. Get me the rollerblade wheels.
Oh man, I wasn't even looking at. I was looking at the first Optimus. If you go up, picture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Picture 6. There's only 2 pictures of him,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it came with both heads because of the packaging, and I don't think it does.
I think it does. I think one's on the back.
I think he turned his head around. It says 2 modes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So that's how it doesn't even have an
Those are the modes. Those are the modes. No, but you see, you notice the chest plate changes too. So it looks like you flip it out somehow. Like the chest plate with Optimus has like a Matrix painted in it,
Mm-hmm.
and the Orion just has like a cheap ass gear.
I love that it's like he's like 3 stripes. It's like they painted the chest red, the midsection got nothing, and the legs got blue. The whole midsection is just gray plastic. Even the forearms. Terrible.
Oh, we're looking at the other Optimus, though. That other Optimus alt mode is really divine.
What about the Megatron with his Bakugan ball?
Where are we? Where's the Megatron?
It's just before the Optimus.
What is that? What is that? What's the ball?
I don't know. So bad.
Why are his treads facing up? They don't even go down. Look at this, the front. Look at.
He's not even transformed right, and the kid's like, "Yeah, this is cool. I'm playing with it."
Yeah, toys. Woo.
Man, look at his forearms. The inside of Megatron's forearms.
I also like the picture where he's holding them up and smiling. Like it's kind of like that picture where you're trying to get your kids to smile. You're like, no, like smile natural. Like, it is how I smile. Like, no, it's not. Nobody smiles like that.
I love how that ball transforms into like a piece of shit. The thing is just a piece of shit. Oh God. Oh,
These
God.
are so bad.
Okay, we'll move it on.
These are rough.
Okay, Rock'em Sock'em Wannabes and one-step changers. Also one paint app.
There's so much Transformer 1 crap coming. That's terrible.
Oh, wow.
Look at that Wheeljack. Look at the third picture. It's just so sad.
Wheeljack's amazing. These are all beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Wheeljack really just looks like a bar of soap.
The thing that kills me about these two is like I could see where these could be like kind of fun for, you know, a few dollars, like $5 or less, but these things are like fucking $10, you know?
Yeah,
like,
10 and 15
who the
bucks.
fuck are you gonna pay $10 for this?
Mm-hmm.
Wheeljack just looks like a bar of soap.
New from Dr. Squatch. Wheeljack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God! All right, this is
they're bad. Yeah,
this is amazing. Hey, you give them to a little kid though; they'll like them.
Yeah.
Optimus's alt mode looks better than the other one though. And I don't know what that is in his left hand. Is it an ice cream cone? I don't know. Okay. What else do we got there? Is I don't know. I guess little kids might have fun with these. Watch, it says like 12 and up. All right.
Adult collectibles only.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second, okay? One second.
One Mississippi. He lied. He lied terribly. So.
Should we move on to the next news?
Let's move
He's
on.
Not gonna miss.
No, you're not moving on.
We're moving on.
My daughter's still at rehearsals, and it's fucking 10 o'clock at night.
You're at rehearsals.
Okay, this really isn't a Happy Meal toy. Are you sure? Sigh, fine. Earthspark Tacticon Starscream stock images.
Again, these are just like one step changer, which is just...
These are $10 toys.
Yeah.
What the hell?
This is what deluxes used to cost, and now they're made out of 5 pieces of 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of plastic.
What is that?
You stick your finger up its ass, and I think it transforms, but I'm not positive.
I thought he was mistransformed, and like his feet were still pointing up, and then I realized, oh no.
Those are shins.
They carved his shins and feet into that piece of plastic that's like 3 inches away from the rest of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh my God. Matt's getting this.
You know he is.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh my God, what is that?
Yeah.
What is it? What?
And it's Starscream, so you know we're gonna get repaints galore from this.
Mm-hmm.
How many steps is it?
Like this is like remember the bot shots? They were like $4 a piece or something like that. Is that what they were?
Mm-hmm.
Bot shots? Yeah, that's what they were.
Yeah.
And it's like, so here's these things. They're just like that, you know, same level of like articulation and all that stuff, which is to say none. A fraction of the cost, and it auto transformed when you bumped the front end. Like this probably only
pullback motors.
Yeah, like this, I would be surprised if anything auto transforms. So
now, this is what they should be doing missing links on.
For sure, without a doubt.
If you could make this thing look, this robot, looking exactly like this, but he's fully articulated, you win. You know, company of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Okay. Well,
right.
Might as well keep up with the Earthspark theme. Hashtag and Spitfire also revealed, and Rich was kind enough to give us 2 links. Let's see. It looks better than the last thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It looks much better. It's definitely an animated vibe, right?
I think these are deluxes, aren't they? So they're $25.
This is $25.
Warrior class. I don't know how much those are.
Warrior class. Oh boy, I don't hate it. I don't understand what's sticking out of the top of the car. But are those like 3 little robot kids that aren't listening?
Yes.
What are those? What is that?
No clue.
He must combine with something.
I think that's their like.
Oh, that's the gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's their gimmick that they're doing here, is that they kind of got that, whatever it was, the Energon pants and whatever.
Boots and pants.
Yeah.
Shorts and pants.
Spitfire. And he's so poorly made, they had to put the 5mm ports outside of his body.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
And they put one right on the wheel. Looks like they did.
I'm looking at the next one, the green one. You looking at the green one?
No, I'm looking at the first one, the purple one.
Look at the green one. He's got the ports hanging off of his hands. That's where you put the guns. I don't know. I don't think it comes with guns.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you imagine there being guns.
What is his all?
Chaos Terran.
I guess he's like a drone or something. I'm sure it's spot on to the cartoon.
Oh, and there's the combined mode on the back. What is that? They just took him and shoved him on the top of the purple car.
Mm-hmm. It's combine and ride. He's riding on top of the car.
Oh, God.
It's like a robot centipede.
Oh, God. Okay.
He eats and he shits right into the roof of the car.
I'm going to jump out the window. Okay, yachts over Lake Ontario Park's Rise of the Beast Ape Link. What is this? YOLO Park. Okay. Oh, looks pretty good.
Yeah, looks the part.
You want Ape Link? I still haven't finished watching this movie.
I watched it, but I can't remember what happened in it. So
some stuff and a big light in the sky and.
Oh boy! All right. Well, obviously it doesn't transform, right? YOLO Park stuff, or they're action figures, right?
Right.
Yep. You have to put them together yourself. All right, go Ape Link! Yay!
Where you are the child labor.
Unreleased G2 T-Gaze, 24-hour towing and more. What?
I can't explain it. That's just what it says. So these are just some unreleased G2 prototypes.
That is what it says.
Prototype repaints, yeah. And the tow truck says T-Gaze 24-hour towing service.
T-Gaze 24-hour towing service. Yes. Okay. There you go.
So
I grew up knowing many a T-Gay in my day, you know.
Why are they showing two of them? One has an opaque light bar and one has translucent. Oh, and look, the different paint apps on the wheels.
Yeah, I think the one on the bottom, the non-T-Gay, the straight one, I think that one it actually came out in Machine Wars. And then the G2 prototype would be the one on top. Because a lot of the stuff that came out in like Machine Wars was reused molds. So...
Mm-hmm.
I think
interesting.
And then this mold also got used in the 2001 Robots in Disguise, aka Car Robots line. I think it came out as tow line.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a green tow truck, but it was this exact same mold. So I think this was interesting just because, you know, some more unreleased G2 prototypes.
That's interesting.
And all three of these molds ended up getting used in Machine Wars.
You know what else is interesting?
What else is interesting?
Takara unveils new T-Spark project collaboration with Flame Toys, starting with IDW Rodimus and Studio Ox Predaking reveals. Now this is interesting.
This is extremely interesting.
So
and the second link, by the way, has pretty good pictures of the Rodimus prototype.
Yes. So at first, people were saying, "Oh, I'm going to sell my Flame Toys," and they didn't read the fine print. This is a collab with Flame Toys.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a one-off? I don't know. That I don't know. Could have just been a collab with Flame Toys for the Hot Rod. You know, I haven't read into this enough yet. But yeah, that's why it looks so much like the Flame Toys. It's not a knockoff. It's also officially licensed, but it's a transforming Flame Toys Hot Rod, which is fucking amazing. You know, I mean, there are going to be some allowances so that it can transform, but it still looks pretty badass. I wonder what the size is going to be.
The thing that gets me about this is, like, Flames Toys is next level expensive, right? Like,
right.
Yes.
Like, we're talking about, like, Flames Toys is giving Fans Toys a run for who can make the most expensive figures type prices.
Right.
That don't auto transform, Roboson. But you know, like, so and they don't transform, and they're astronomically priced. What is this going to cost?
That's a great question. I doubt the material is going to be on par with Flame Toys materials, right? But what I think is this explains this is being released right in the same time frame as we see the end of official MP, right?
Yeah,
right.
And I think they're passing the torch. They're like, you know what? They pop their cherry slowly with Flame Toys, letting them combine stuff, you know, kind of minimal transformation stuff, but they realized they can still make money doing it. They don't have to covet. They can license out stuff that can transform. You know, why not? And they can see Flame Toys already has a fan base that pays hundreds and hundreds of dollars for their figures, right? $400 base for figures. MP is already approaching that price point, you know? So Takara, Hashtag, they don't have to shoulder any of the risk. They can sell, they make money on licensing it, and then get a piece of the pie for every unit sold. And there's no downside. There's no risk. They don't have to do MP anymore. They don't have to worry about 3P, you know, stealing their business anymore. It's Flame Toys' problem, or whoever this new company is. You know, I think it's a brilliant move. Now, is this what we don't see is, like, they're not really picking up the torch exactly. They're not just moving on with typical MP stuff. But
well, what they might be doing though is they might be saying, okay, if we take MP, stop it, and then move to MPG, so everything's a little smaller, kind of like we talked last time. Right. I have a theory that MPG is going to scale properly or close enough with mainline that you can kind of crisscross.
Right.
And that also makes it so that if you look at like MP44, he was like $420, $450 maybe.
Yeah.
I remember people lost their shit. And now you've got MPG 9 coming at $300 something or $300. And he's supposed to be a transforming cab, and not only a trailer, but a trailer that completely transforms into a robot that the cab plugs into. And you're telling me that that's $100 to $150 cheaper than MP44? Well, something's got to be given there. Like,
it doesn't look as good though.
It doesn't look as good, and I'm betting that he's a little smaller.
Right.
So what they might be doing here is they might be saying, well, this Spark line, because it actually, if you get to the next toy or the next news link, it's another T-Spark, but this one is Lio Convoy. And the interesting thing about it is somebody notes right in the description there that this looks like a heavy retool of the legacy Leo Prime mold or Lio Convoy mold.
Huh.
So I wonder if this T-Spark is going to be kind of a open range 40th anniversary. Some stuff might be high-end Flames Toys crossover. Some stuff might be 40th anniversary Transformers. Here's a Beast Wars 2 guy, and it's, you know, Lio Convoy, and he's better than the legacy, but he's also more expensive. And
wait, it says here this figure is not part of the recently revealed T-Spark project.
Oh, it's not.
And it seems to be a new line for the 40th anniversary of the franchise. So what's TF40A? What the fuck does that mean?
I'm assuming that's just Transformers 40th.
Okay, well, we only have a look. While we only have a look at black and red sketches of robot in alt mode, it seems to figure an extensive retool of the legacy Leo Prime mold. All right, so it's not. It's not.
Rename that.
But you can rename it. Don't worry about that. I'm really interested in the Studio Ox Predaking though. Like I can't wait. I wish we could see the sizing of the hot rod though. Is there anything to give us an indication of the size?
No. But I can't imagine that Flames Toys wouldn't do something in the scale that's already out there, which is roughly 8 inches or so, a little less than 8 for Hot Rod or Rodimus and like Jazz and all them. I will say that they did a Zord, a Megazord, a combined Dino Megazord.
Yes.
That actually combined.
No, and it's solid. It's not the same as their. See, the problem with Flame Toys is if they have a design that they intend on it combining from Jump Street, it's fine. It's when they do their add-ons, like they did the Star Saber, which is a beautiful figure, and then they did the Victory Leo. Mm-hmm. And first of all, it itself is the combiner parts, and that makes no sense to me. But it falls apart if you breathe in the other room. It itself falls apart. So it's a fail, but you then slap it onto Star Saber, and his joints can't handle all the extra weight. It's a major fail. And then they did the same thing with Prime, Jetwing Prime. Like, Prime's a beautiful figure. And then they did the Jetfire, just add-on pieces. It's not its own character. And you slap it on, and he can't stand up. And I was warning everybody not to buy it, and they did anyway. And he just can't stand up because they didn't plan on it with the joints and stuff. So, but the Zord, the Megazord, is great. It's also simple. It almost is like a Bondi approach, you know? They kept it simple, but still, it's a success.
Yeah.
You know?
So that Zord, though, is only 9.45, call it 9.5 inches tall, and it was $440. So if they do a Predaking, and it only transforms in the sense that the individual dinos look like they are just dinosaurs. Like, they don't have robot modes.
Predators.
Oh, Predators.
Predacons.
No, I'm talking about this Zord.
Oh.
Like, they don't have individual robot modes. They're just dinosaurs. They have, like, little vehicle modes where lights and stuff fall up, and then they have the Megazord. So if they're going to do Predaking, he's got to be taller than 9.5 inches, first of all. And he's got to have all three modes. Alt modes, robot modes, Predaking mode.
Unless it's just alt modes and combine mode. You know?
I mean, they could. I wouldn't be happy with that. I'd love a Studio Ox looking Predaking, but if it doesn't transform, I don't know. That's especially if this thing's $440, and Hasbro's already shown that they've kind of given up on Power Rangers. In general,
we have no idea how much these things are going to cost.
I bet that Predaking could easily be $700, $800,
mm-hmm.
Easy. And how much was like Rodimus?
Like $400.
Yeah, so a transforming one, that's got to be $550 easy, right? So maybe that's what they're doing though. Maybe these are the replacements for the $450 MP44s.
So much of me blames Fans Toys for all this because I feel like somewhere Takara's been watching, like, well, they're willing to pay this much for something unofficial.
Yeah, but if you really look at prices on MPs, they were getting jacked.
They were trending up. Yes, I mean, the problem is I say I blame Fans Toys, but honestly, the problem is Hasbro itself because they've been like, oh well, people will pay $10 for these little piece of shit things that go on your fingers that would cost like $5 before,
Right.
So,
I don't know. I think maybe they're downsized. I'm no engineer. But I'm assuming you could downsize even the Flame Toys mold, but then having to figure in transformation joints sounds wild. But if they do like what 3.0 did, where they downsize stuff, and then they have a new MDLX line, maybe they're smaller. Maybe that's the angle. Maybe these scale with the new MP line. What is it? It's not MPG? Maybe they scale with it.
Yeah.
That might be the workaround. And then they still charge a fuckload because they're like really fancy. So maybe they're charging, like if Prime was a $450, right? $420, whatever it was. Maybe they're charging $300 for this Rodimus. I don't know. But it's smaller, or $250. Maybe they're just going, maybe like, I could see it being like $250, but it's like smaller, Predaking. Are they going to release it they'd have to just release it bit by bit if it's really going to be triple changing figures, piece by piece.
I mean, looking at this Rodimus, he looks like he's, judging by the hands and stuff, he looks like he's MP car scale at least. Like he's got the hands that just look like they open and close, like
those
not
are just pin
individually.
jointed. Yeah, this is smaller. Those are pin jointed.
So you think it's smaller than like the other hot rod they put out, the IDW Rodimus, the non-transforming one?
Yeah, this is smaller. Those pin joints, they reveal that. You got that there. He has fully articulated hands, I think. No, he doesn't. No, does he? No, they just pop on and pop off posing hands and stuff. That's all. Yeah,
I'm looking
he doesn't have articulated hands.
I'm looking at Jazz right now, and his hands just look like they
they just pop on, pop off.
But even that, I mean, Jazz is $310.
But these are pins, though. How big are pins? These pins look huge, which means these hands are small. Right?
See, that looks about like a MP car-ish type hand to me.
With that pin?
Yeah.
What do you think, Justin? What do you think?
I don't know.
He doesn't know. There you go.
I don't know. It's definitely
an interesting move.
It's hard to tell the scale. Yeah, I feel like it's. I don't know. I'm looking at this Jazz, and I honestly feel like it looks like it's about the same size. Like looking at the the picture with the poster and all that stuff, and I kind of think that probably like the desk that it sits on probably comes up to about someone's like.
Yeah, I think they're like 6 inches. Right.
I would say it looks like it's probably like I feel like you would sit Jazz next to it. It would this Jazz that's on my desk would just like scale just fine with it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm
trying to get some type of indication from like that big promo shot with in front of the poster with the little spotlights.
Yeah,
trying to see if there's something to give us a size.
Yeah, there's some interesting things too, because like I don't understand the hands here. Like you see, if you look at the hands, you see how they have the little cutaways there on the hand. Like usually that's indicative of like a mushroom peg thing. That's like an expansion joint there. So like I don't know.
Joints, huh?
Like it certainly doesn't look like it's as well built as this Jazz, like because of things like that.
No, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be.
Yeah.
But it's still gonna be nice. This thing's gonna be good.
Maybe.
Look at it. It's gonna be good. I hope they do Jazz next to really fuck with you. Transforming Flame Toys Jazz, little one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the guns, they have pins in them too, and the guns look pretty big with the pins in them. The zoom in on the two guns and the saw blade. I'm betting this thing's probably about the same size.
Well, Jazz is the Flame Toys characters. They're not 6 inches, are they? Or are they 7 inches?
This Jazz says it's 7.8 inches.
Yeah, they're a little bigger. They're not like MP car size. They're not. Like Star Saber, Jazz, Prime, they're all around the same size. Drift. And they're certainly larger than MP scale. They're just much smaller than BingoToys stuff. They're in between there. All right.
It's going to be interesting.
We'll move it along. I'm interested. Justin's getting all of this, especially if they were Jazz.
All
right. G1 Throwback News. Blaster Blues storyboard and 150 model sheets now available on the Sunbow Marvel Archive. We are not going through 150 things right now, Richard.
No.
If this is really, was this yours?
This was not mine, but this was part of the deal.
This is mad cool, though.
My friend Ryan got this one. He got
so
the Blaster Blues in this other book.
This is so fucking cool.
Yeah, this type of history is really, really interesting.
Makes me want to draw.
I could never draw.
No.
At all, so.
You have to try.
No, I've tried. I just suck at it horribly. But yeah, there's cool stuff in here. Like you get that character model of Dr. Arkville up his head, and
look at the picture of Hound and Optimus's heads. And like back in the 80s, you had to say, well, if he's got like a radio, he's got to have a microphone that pops out, little antennas that shoot up out of his head. That's
right.
The only way you can, radio waves can transmit.
Yeah. You know, some of this though, when you look at the detail, like, you know, there's like a dinosaur drawn there and everything. There was a lot of love put into animation in the 80s. You know, there's stuff like, would you have ever cared as a kid? Like, well, that's fucking stupid. There's no microphone sticking out. How's he talking? You would have never thought that. But they went through the trouble of somebody drew this up. Somebody approved this. And then somebody said, yep, put this in with the models for use by the animators. You know, little stuff like that. It's, there was a lot of love put, and it's not just Transformers. You know, you see this with all the old
and look at
cartoons, especially.
Look at the page with like Omega grabbing Megatron, right? So you're telling me they had a page like this where Ultra Magnus is grabbing a Constructicon?
Yeah, the season 3 stuff.
I mean, we call them animation errors and stuff, but they did this. They storyboarded it.
Well, so season 3. I mean, they had ACOM and other. Toei was the one who did a lot of the early stuff, and they're pretty solid. ACOM, I think, was the ones who did the later stuff, and then you have the episodes like Studio Ox, like I think Carnage in C minor was one of theirs, and it's kind of a silly episode, but the animation, you're like, man, this is different. This is much better. You know,
I wish they would just do it again. You know what I mean? Like, just give us another cartoon, a real cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anime, like, give us a fucking cartoon.
It's so there's some I don't know if you've ever seen like the like XYZ thing that made America or whatever, but like there's a like they've done the food, and then like they've done like credit cards and all this crap, and like I guess one that just came out was Disney. And I haven't seen the whole thing, but like super interesting about like the cartooning process and stuff like that, and like how Snow White pioneered it. It's like it's this art that's just gone because now we just put it into, you know, a computer and animate the models. You know, like it's not the same. You know,
right? Yeah.
Also, I want to say whoever's sitting in Starscream's chest in jet mode is down for a bad time with those meat grinder gears.
I mean, I hope somebody is seeing the success of X-Men 97. You know?
But even that is not the same animation anymore. It's not.
No,
you know?
No,
so.
But it's still. I mean, I'll take that, man. You know, like it just, you know, Transformers 86, call it or whatever.
Yeah, the thing about X-Men 97 is when they decided to do it, they were like, if we're doing this, we're going to try and make it so that this just was the next season.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this could have aired in the 90s.
Yes.
It's how they approached it.
They should go back they should restart season 3. You know?
They could do, like, you know how Hasbro likes to do these little things like, oh, we don't want to commit to an ongoing series, so here's this. And it's like, you know, 1 or 2 seasons of some crap, like the Siege stuff and all that. They could easily say, here's what happened between season 2 and the 86 movie. And then if that's successful, be like, and here's what happens with Rebirth, like season 4, that it was only 3 episodes. We're going to continue it.
Let's just pretend season 3 never happened, and let's rewrite it all.
or you could just pick up and just kind of retcon stuff and fix things.
This is why Transformers have capes in this one. All right. Okay, Legacy, Star, Raiders, Thundertron, Calcitron, and Night Strike first look.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. It's stupid.
That's
These
fine.
are just,
like,
it's
just
40 years.
Repaints of a bunch of made-up characters from whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I bought that fucking mold, that lion thing. I remember being like, oh. I hated it. All right. Do we have anything else to discuss? No discussion. Okay. Should we see if we have any listener questions? Let's see. Really quick, because we got to call it a night soon. Where do we find our news?
I will say while you're looking that up, the one thing I didn't put on here that you had pointed out, Justin, was Hasbro kind of giving up on Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's interesting.
We're not doing the toys anymore. We don't.
They just literally bought it, and then they're like, meh. Like, what do you mean, meh? Like, meh.
Can you believe My fucking Google Drive sign-in does not have All Hail Unicron in it.
What?
Why?
That's just so fucking crazy.
Here we go.
Would have thought.
All Hail Unicron. It's in my Google, but not my Google Drive. Okay. Let's go to the mail. Let's see if we have any listener questions. Oh my God. Your burial insurance. Is your family insured?
Oh no.
All right. Critical security alert. Sign-in attempt was blocked. All right, another security alert. Okay, here we go. We got 2 questions. Okay, from Eamon A. Okay. Let me copy and paste this into the notes. Thanks, Rich. Let's see. Listener questions.
My fault somehow.
Eamon A. And then where is our... I gotta go back. God damn it, I'm knocking shit over. Okay, hello again. Here's my next round of questions. Oh my God, you're asking for? Hold on. And yes, that's my real name. I'm Greek. Okay. Anthusis Malaka.
He asked a question last time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ready? Here's my next round of questions. 1, do you have a figure or figures that you love but the rest of the world hates? For me, I really enjoy the MPG train bots. Wow. I haven't combined them. That's why you love them. And even broke one early on, but got a free replacement. I just love their blocky goofiness. As a masterpiece, they suck, but are fine for chug. So, anything that you guys love but the rest of the world hates?
GoBots. I mean, like, it's true, right? Like, I love those stupid little things, but nobody else does. So, I'm the only one who cares. So,
what about you, Rich?
I mean, I like GoBots as well. Not as much as Justin.
Yeah. Goddamn right you don't.
I think
I don't know. Something I like that everybody else thinks is trash?
Transart.
I mean, I do like that Quick Strike.
Yep.
Is he a great figure? No. Does he capture the character well enough for my taste? Yes. Is Hasbro ever going to do it, or Takara? No. So
I can't think of something that I love that the rest of the world hates. You know, I mean, I collect Robosend. The rest of the world doesn't hate them, but there's a lot of hate towards them for people who aren't in on it and, like, you know, ridicule you for spending that kind of money on that. And then there's also Robosend collectors who are very angry at the company for apparently their poor customer service. So that's one answer. Okay, 2. Is anyone getting the Magic Square Grimlock? I have all the recolors for the New Age Dinobots. Mine is clear, and I love them. However, the Magic Square one looks better in the Dino mode. I'm tempted to get a set of MS Dinobots for Dino mode and use the New Age for Bot. I'm getting all of them. That's a great idea. You know, have one in Bot mode, one in Dino mode. But if you have all those New Age ones, what modes do you have in the rest of them in? I don't know. But, yeah, don't be ashamed. You can have a Magic Square shelf and a New Age shelf.
Mm-hmm.
The beauty is they take up one shelf, and you can have the whole season.
Mm-hmm. And the nice thing is, like, in either case, like, they're both fun to play with and transform back and forth and stuff like that. So, you know, regardless of my feelings of how I think aesthetically they look, like, honestly, like, New Age or Magic Square Legends is probably more fun than anything MP, even if aesthetically they don't do it for me. So
what about you, Rich?
I'm not getting Grimlock for Magic Square, but I will say that's a good idea. Another thing about that I like is, aren't they a little bigger? Isn't Magic Square a little bit bigger?
Yeah.
So I think keeping them in Dino mode would actually look really good, because they're supposed to be big, right? The Dinobots are supposed to be big and imposing. So having them in Dino mode and be a little bigger than the New Age, I think would look really good.
All right. Next question. Rich mentioned the constant upgrading that comes with buying mainline, or you could call it downgrading, and I personally hate it. I really wish that Hasbro would have a collector line that is smaller than Masterpiece. Well, they do now. Congratulations. These figures could be the definitive screen representation of characters. You're not getting that, man. I'd expect a premium price and everything that goes along with it. Better paint, accessories, and articulation. There are some Studio Series figures out now that I think would work. The new Ultra Magnus is perfect. Studio Series Hot Rod is close, but needs better paint. Kingdom Rodimus doesn't work because of the robot mode being off. Any thoughts? Would any of you be into something like this? I mean, I think that's what you're getting with the MPG. That's their attempt at that. That's what they're trying to give you.
Maybe,
You're just not happy with them still.
I think they've tried some of these things here and there. You know, other toy lines do it, like Star Wars Black Series, which is Hasbro, but it's not being directed by Hasbro. You know, obviously Disney and Star Wars is pushing that. But you know, remember those quote unquote special edition figures they did years ago when Chug was a thing, like, or I should say Classics was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Drag Strip, Overkill, Optimus, and Megatron, and they were like $25 deluxes when deluxes were still $10. But they were painted extremely well. They came in real nice black boxes. And then that was it. They're like, oh, we're going to try this. And people are like, oh, these are really nice. Well done. And then they just dropped it. They're like, ah, forget it.
Yeah.
I wish they would stick with something. Yeah, I think it would be nice. Almost like a Masters of the Universe Classics line where they're like, all right, we're going to do kind of ultimate versions or screen accurate versions and going to give you the best of a character. I think that would be great, but I think it doesn't fit their business model either, unfortunately. I think that they purposely do what they do. I think they know that Earthspark Optimus is really nice as far as the cab. The trailer's trash, but you know what? I think eventually they're going to come out with another Optimus that's going to have a better trailer, and he's going to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I think some of it is chase, is a constant chase, but I think some of it too is also starting to fit into your sense, what you find is the best, your sense and sensibility for whatever you're collecting is.
Sensitive sensibilities.
Yeah. But you know, like Justin, you didn't get MP44, did you? Or did you? But you still like MP10?
Yeah, I have MP44. The reason I like MP10 better is just because I feel like he's more fun to flip back and forth and transform. I think the trailer on MP44 is leagues better. Like, I love the little storage compartments and stuff they have. I like the truck mode plenty too. It's just that I don't find him fun to transform. He just feels like things want to break. I keep saying I need to get a knockoff of him just so I can have one that I can transform back and forth, and if it breaks, then it didn't cost me some astronomical amount of money. So maybe something.
I actually have one of the MP44. I have MP44, but I also have one of the KOs.
Yeah, that's what I feel like I need to have.
I have the one that has like the slim down backpack because it doesn't have the sound.
Yeah,
So
and I'd be okay with that.
Better.
Okay.
Yeah, the backpack actually looks better because it doesn't have that extra stuff. And quality-wise, he's fine. I mean, it is a pain in the ass to transform. So yeah, you still feel like there's things you may break. But
yeah, like MP44 is like the one thing that like I feel. Or did I say MP44 or did I say 10? I don't know. I'm losing it now. But MP10 is one of those things that's like I could not touch that thing for 5 years, and I could go walk over, pick it up, and know how to transform it without breaking it. You know, it's like I cannot say the same thing about MP44. And like when I did the review on it, it's like one of my later end reviews. I took the time to make sure I didn't need to look at the instruction manuals at all to figure it out, you know. And it's like, but fuck, I couldn't do it now, like no chance. So
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think some of it is going to have to be self-induced. Like you're just going to have to start going, well, they're going to do an Optimus on every line. Mm-hmm. What do I think is the best? If I'm doing Chug, what do I think is the best Chug? If I'm doing Masterpiece, what do I think is the best Masterpiece? Is it MP44, MP10?
Yeah.
Is it Magic Squares? Whatever it is, Light of Justice, Light of Peace, whatever they call their
but he wants
skin.
He wants stuff downsized. That's what he's saying, though.
Yeah, and I just think that if you're gonna do like a mainline, like Studio Series, there are some Studio Series out there. Ultra Magnus is perfect. I would love to say Studio Series is going to be that. Like Studio Series 86 is going to continue and be kind of a definitive line for that era. That's that scale, that collecting.
Maybe this new Spark thing is hitting that avenue he's talking about. Maybe they'll. I don't know if it doesn't look like they're going G1 though, like G1. So I don't know. I don't know if he's ever going to get what he's asking for. Honestly, it's sad. But
Yeah,
I don't see it.
and that's why I say you might have to. Some of that might have to be kind of self-forced, where you kind of go, well, this is my favorite of this character.
No, if you ask me, you don't have to have every character. Only get the stuff that looks good. So I can see maybe your concern is with the size. They take up too much space, and they're more difficult to display. You don't get the best displays because the ones you want to put don't all necessarily fit on the shelf. So if they're smaller, you get that Legends appeal where you can get more stuff on the shelf, and it may not look that as crowded, but you can still overcrowd. But if you only collect the stuff of the size you're talking, like Rich and Justin are pointing out, that still look really, really good, don't settle for a character that you like, but there's no release that satisfies the parameters you're setting. You will have more space on your shelves and only good-looking figures. It will look better because they're not overcrowded. And just maybe try that. Be satisfied with only things that meet your parameters in terms of size and quality. And don't be like, well, this is the best version of Wheeljack that's come out, so I'm going to buy it. Don't. And you'll see you'll have better-looking shelves overall. You'll just be missing the characters that haven't been released. But that's kind of the charm of collecting. Pining over, I wish they would do an MP Megatron back in the day. Yeah,
that's and you can also, if you do it that way too, you can also go backwards. And you could say, you know what, I never did find a Wheeljack I liked, and it doesn't seem like they're doing another one for a while, so let me look back at all the Wheeljacks.
Just get fucking...
G1.
Just get Missing Link.
And some of the stuff like he notes, Studio Series Hot Rod is close but needs better paint. I mean, yeah, if he's that close for you, and that might be something that's fun to do with collecting too, is getting into customizing a little bit. It doesn't have to be I build a hot rod from scratch. It could just be, hey, I thought some new paint or some extra paint on him would look nice, so I did it.
Mm-hmm. All right, final question. Finally, what is the most expensive figure you ever broke? I broke the new MP44 toy version during the transformation the day I got him. The paint on the windshield panel was so thick that it snapped. Luckily, Amazon Japan sent me a free replacement. Anyway, thanks again. Expect more questions soon. Okay, so guys, let's go around. What's the most expensive figure you ever broke? Justin.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
All right, Rich.
I mean, technically, I broke a little piece off of Studio Cell Unicron.
Oh, me too. We're besties.
But it's just one little piece.
The little city bits. The shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. Yep,
yeah,
I broke one of those.
You were holding the hand. You were holding his shoulder while trying to move his arm, and you snapped the little city bit off.
Yeah, it
That's also my answer. It was a little city bit off of the Studio Cell Unicron shoulder, and then I crazy glued it back and then sent it to Bobby. And I wrote him a little poem asking him not to break my toy, knowing that I had already broken it.
Oh, man.
And then I guess, so that's like $400, right? And then there's also the Flame Toys Star Saber. The non-Star Saber head that it came with. It was like the I think that only came with the pre-order from the D4 Toys. And it was his blue head. And the LED, I forget what I did, but I broke the LED in his head. I fucked up the wiring trying to turn his head or something. So I broke that. But yeah.
Speaking of that, though, I do have the gray Quake Wave from Fans Toys.
Uh-huh.
And there's that little teeny tiny switch that turns his eye off and on.
Yep.
And that snapped on me, too.
And I guess for a lot of people, it was Fans Toys Shrapnel, while they were still really expensive.
Oh, yeah, and Kickback. Those little clips on his
Kickback.
Wings.
I meant Kickback. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
And that was the most expensive one because everybody's was breaking. That's why I never transformed mine, because I was like, it's going up in value by the day. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Justin.
So
you never said.
No. So I think after thinking about it for a while, the most expensive thing that I broke is this damn what used to be Eagle Moss now is fucking I don't even remember the name of the company that has it anymore. The Ecto 1 roof lights that I frickin' broke off, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna fix them.
Is that mail away thing you had building?
Yeah. I mean, it's like 90% done, and I need to figure out how to fix the roof lights and figure out why the electrical connections aren't working right.
Just tell them with broken shipping or something, so they ship you a new one.
Yeah, there's problems with doing that type of stuff. But
because I started that build too.
Oh wow.
Yes, Rich is helping me out with. He's like, oh, this was broken. Can you send me another one? So God forbid he's gonna get there. It's gonna break. I'm like, fuck, I gotta buy him these things.
So how much was that broken piece?
I mean, like it's part of
the whole thing.
So the problem is that the electrical, I have no fucking idea where it's not working right.
Oh, the whole unit. How much is this whole fucking Ecto 1?
Oh, I don't know. It's like 1,400 when you put it all together.
There you
the
go.
Stuff.
You broke a $1,400 toy. Justin
exactly.
wins.
Yeah.
So. All right. Question from New Brian. Hello, Mr. Allhail. Thanks for reading my question on your last episode about which of your Transformer collection you'd save in a fire and if you'd keep collecting. Rich asked for my answer, so here it goes. I may just save my G1 Jazz I had as a kid. Oh, look at you going for Justin's heart. Because he was my favorite growing up, and no, I would probably end my collecting if everything turned to ash. There would be Orion before F, before fire, and Ryan after AF, after fire. Okay. Next, new question for this week. What was the most egregious thing you did to your Transformers growing up that makes you cringe now as an adult collector? Sorry if this is a duplicate question. I really only listen to the podcast episodes that Rich is on. Oh, New Brian. All right, so I'll start it off. The most egregious thing that I did to my Transformers was, I forget how old I was. I think I've told this story before, but I traded an absurd amount of my toys to my best friend for his Autobot twins. It was such a bad trade that I think it was Azalea, or no, Scarlet, confronted him about it when she was little and gave him a guilt trip. And then as adults, he brought me all my toys back.
That's amazing.
I'm talking like Headmasters, Metroplex. Like I thought I'd given him Jetfire. Like I gave him so much because I wanted those Autobot fucking twins. It was the dumbest thing I ever did. But yeah, that's me. So what about you guys?
So I can think of two things. So the first thing, and I may have told this story on here before, I can't remember, but I didn't have any Dinobots, and for some reason I liked Sludge as a kid. He was my favorite Dinobot, still is. So I had traded some figures, and I don't remember what, traded some toys for a Sludge. No accessories. But, you know, he has hands built in and everything, so it's not like getting an Optimus without accessories. You know, you at least had the robot mode, Dino mode. And, of course, I treated my toys like crap when I was playing with them. Left them outside, sometimes left them out in the rain. And I had left this outside overnight at a friend's house in his yard, and his dog chewed the dino head off. So I had this Sludge that I just kept in robot mode because he didn't have a dino head. And it's like, you know, that sucks because the Dinobots, you want dinosaur mode, right? So that sucked. And the other thing is I remember I wanted a Jetfire so bad because I watched Robotech. Yeah. And he's Jetfire, and he's a Transformer, and I love Transformers too. So I finally got one in a trade. And he was missing some parts, but he had like his gun, and I think he had some of the armor. He had the backpack for sure. But for whatever reason, my dad was a mechanic, and he had this. I don't even know why he had this. He had red touch-up paint from Ford, like official little vial that you unscrewed, and it had like almost like a nail polish, you know, container. It had a little brush on it. Yeah. He didn't have any. He was a big Ford person, loved Fords over everything else. It had nothing red. This was like fire engine bright red. For some reason, he had this, And I found it and decided, oh, I'm going to paint Jetfire's visor because it's already red, but it's faded.
But it melted?
It didn't melt it, but I did such a shit job. And I painted a couple other things on him red. And afterwards, I'm like, well, this looks terrible. But I did it, you know, and I think I painted some other figures and, you know, touched them up with this red. And it was not
terrible.
It was terrible. It was not good.
Okay, Justin?
So I'm trying to think of anything egregious I did with Transformers. I think Transformers I was pretty good with overall. I hated the fucking Mirage toy I had, so he just kind of got thrown around a lot. And it's like...
Wow, what a good toy! How did you hate that toy?
I fucking hated Mirage. I just never liked the character. I'm like, oh, cool, Mirage. I'll throw him in the box.
Oh.
Which in hindsight, like as an adult, I'm like, I wish I treated that a little bit better, but I still fucking hate Mirage, kind of. Which is funny because the new Age of Mirage, I got it in the toy version just specifically. I'm like, I love this little thing. I'm like, just because I have this soft place in my heart for this toy that I hated as a kid.
You know? I'm sorry, I was mean to you.
Yeah. So, but I could say I was definitely rougher with GI Joes because, like, you know, they're I don't know. I played with them a lot more rough, I guess, and like, you know, like I still have it somewhere, maybe, hopefully, I don't know, maybe I don't, but I have the Killer Whale, and like that thing fucking sinks like a rock in a which I learned about that and stuff. So like G.I. Joe's definitely got the brunt of it, and like, you know, I didn't give a shit about the electronic things for certain G.I. Joes with electronic gimmicks. Like I found something the other day, I'm like, I don't even know who it goes to, but it's so rusted to fuck that it's not even worth having, you know, like inside there. It'll never work and it looks like shit, so I threw it out and I didn't care. So G.I. Joe's definitely took the brunt of it. I don't know. Transformers is just a little more delicate with, I guess, but yeah. G.I. Joe's definitely went outside on adventures more, so.
All right, well, that's our listener questions. Thank you again to New Brian and to Eamon A. And please email your questions to hailunicroncast@gmail.com. That's hailunicroncast@gmail.com. Special shout-outs to Dust Mice for providing the beats for the theme song. Thank you, Dust. Check the Realm of Collectors on Facebook. You know how to find them. And for everybody who followed us from Shadowcast Uncut, we're grateful to each and every one of you for joining us on this journey. All right, and that is it. Have a good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Good night.